Hi guys, welcome to day 4. I'm glad you're back with me. We are going to move, of course, that's the whole point to this. But today we're going to use a foam roller. So there are a lot of different styles. There's a half moon, which would be fine for some of this. There's a more firm or squishy roller, just kind of depends. Sometimes they're shorter. If you do have a longer one, that would be awesome. And if you don't have one, that's okay as well. You could just do what we're doing without it, or you could roll up a blanket or a couple of towels. I used to have a couple of towels rolled up with some packing tape on the ends just to hold it together. You want it, think about like the length of your spine. So basically from your tail to the crown of your head. So if you're seated, you want it about this long for what we're going to use it for today, at least for the under the spine part. And yeah, just work with it and play with it and see how it feels. This is going to be a yummy way to release and engage and connect and move. Okay, so we're going to start with it long. So just make sure you don't really need anything but this. If you have a couple of light weights or cans of soups, I've got a couple of balls that I might incorporate into it, then do that. But otherwise, we're just using this, or like I said, a rolled up blanket or towel. Okay, so you're going to start, you're going to sit on the end of your roller or your rolled up whatever, and you're going to just carefully lie yourself back. Now if you have weights somewhere, you're just going to have those sort of by your side, so we can add those in a little bit. So the back line of your arm here is important so that it's sort of your kickstand. And I want you to just tap into your spine here for a second and sort of feel where you're settled on the roller. It might be really uncomfortable. It might be super wobbly. Just kind of think about it for a second. And I want you to think about the back of your skull resting on it. You've got a hollow underneath your cervical spine. And then you should feel your vertebra of your spine, hopefully attached to the roller. When you get down into your lumbar lower spine, I want you to have a little pocket. So I want you in neutral spine. So if I was very compressed with my tail rolled under me, I'd be squished into it. And then if I was really rib popping, I'd be, overdoing it. So you want to still connect ribs to hips, finding the little suspenders between ribs to hips, so you still have that pocket of blueberries. And you're just going to breathe here for a second. Think about your feet. Think about the big toe and the pinky and the heel. That's the tripod of your foot. Imagine drawing lines between that. Picking up the arch just a little bit, even if you have a flatter foot, it's that idea and intention of picking it up and waking it up. And you're just going to take a breath here. Your feet are hip distance apart. You're going to inhale to prepare, and you're going to exhale. We're going to roll the pelvic wheel. So you've got the blueberries underneath low back, and you're going to scoop the tail under you. You've just squished those blueberries into jam, and then you're going to unravel the tail back. So again, you're going to exhale, and then inhale, release, watching the ribs. Exhale to curl the tail. Inhale to release it. Keep going, just a little rolling and releasing. That's it, rolling and releasing. So this could be awesome after a long day of work, or it could be great after a rough sleep, right? We wake up in all kinds of positions. That's it. And release. Holding it here. So now we're back into that neutral spine. You're going to take a deep breath in, and you're just going to stay in neutral. And we're going to pick the left leg up to tabletop. So you really have to connect ribs to hips. I want you to try and stay in neutral here. And from the hip joint, so not the knee, I want this shape to stay the same. And you're going to tap, and then from this joint, you're lifting the whole thing up. So you're going to inhale down, exhale, ribs to hips. That's it. Inhale down, exhale. Inhale down, and down. One more. Take a big breath, and then you're going to replace place the foot, toe, ball, heel, and just sort of reassess into that center. You're still in your neutral spine. Rib to hip connection, ground into the tripod of the left foot now, and then exhale to lift up the right into that tabletop position. So now we're back into that hip joint. Big inhale to drop, exhale to lift. Toe tap and lift, that's it. Maintaining neutral spine here, so you're really having to root down through the sit bones, even though your sit bones are sort of on either side of that roller. That's it. 3 and X. 2. 1. Take a big inhale and then release the foot, toe, ball, heel, and root it down. So just a reminder what we talked about the other day with our Pilates breath. It's that inhale through the nose, exhale through pursed lips. That's turning on the pelvic floor. That's pulling the pelvic floor up, and it's turning on your transverse abdominis, okay? Super important breath to stay connected. So try and really tap into that and think about it. So now we're going to, instead of staying in neutral, we're gonna roll our tail into imprint because we're gonna bring both legs up. So really root into the back line of your arms. Take a breath, and if this becomes too much or you become too unstable, go back to one foot down and keep doing the toe tap. So you're gonna take a breath. You're gonna exhale to curl the tail, and I'm gonna bring one leg up and then the other. All right, so we're wobbly here. So there's a lot of abdominals, a lot of obliques, everything going on here to stabilize. From this hip joint again, I'm gonna start on the left side, and I'm going to inhale to tap, exhale it back up. I'm in a bit of a curled spine here now. Same leg, drop, X, and drop. 2 more. Tap, curl it a little deeper maybe. Tap, curl, take a breath, and I'm gonna tap the other side and curl it in. And tap, and curl. Inhale, X, inhale. Let's go 3 more. And 2. And 1. Take a big breath. And I'm going to slowly lower one toe ball heel and then the other toe ball heel. Right here, you're going to clap the soles of the feet together, and you're going to allow your legs to open laterally into that sort of reclined butterfly. You could prop your hands underneath if the legs are going, oh, it's too much. Maybe it feels really awesome. You're back into your neutral spine here. Ribs are connected to the hips. Oh, and just breathe. Just let go. Allow your chest. You should be feeling open now through the chest, hopefully. So with the spine supported in this position, it kind of allows your pecs to turn off and everything to open up. So just breathe here for a minute. Big inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Feel everything funneling in and down towards the pubic bone. Big inhale, the ribs still expand. As you exhale, the ribs funnel in and down, almost on like a V. Think of it like funneling down. Inhale, ribs and hips connect. Take a big breath in. On that exhale, you're going to control and wrap those legs back in. That's it. Okay, so now you're still in a parallel and a hip width stance with the feet and the legs. You're still in neutral spine, and you're going to bring your arms up. Okay, so everything we're doing up here we could do without weights or soup cans or whatever, or you could add it in. So I'm just going to grab mine here, and I'm going to put it straight up. So you've really got to anchor through those feet. So again, if this becomes too much, keep one arm down if you want a bit more stability, and you can break it into single arms. We're going to go into some scapular isolations. So in neutral spine, really think of the sit bones heavy on either side. Your spine is supported, And I want you to protract. So you're gonna reach the balls towards the ceiling, and then you're gonna draw the shoulders down into a retraction. So you get a really good retraction here because your spine's supported on the roller, but you can draw the shoulders below that. So it's just a reach and a draw it down. Inhale, X. Inhale, X. So just feeling your shoulders gliding. Our shoulders are amazing. There's so much range of motion. It also makes them very complicated. So I have got a shoulder injury, and I've had 2 surgeries, and it's left me with a disability in my shoulder, but through movement, I work around it. That's it. So there's always a way. Now just settle those arms down here. Take a big breath, rooting down through your tail, through the sit bones. Check in neutral spine, ribs to hips. You're going to inhale, strong legs, and you're going to slowly lower overhead. So you're really connected to where those shoulders are and are not rising up. Big inhale to stay, and then X to draw them back up. Inhale, and then exhale to lower. Inhale to stay. Exhale, ribs to hips connect as you pull back up. Let's do 2 more. Inhale to lower. X to lift. 1 more time. Inhale to lower. And X to lift. Take a big inhale here. We're going to scissor the arms now. Check in with the feet, rooting down. The spiral lines through the legs, staying solid, neutral spine. And here we go. You're going to X. Hold it. Big inhale breath. And then X to pull it back up. Inhale to prepare. X to move. Inhale to stay. Exhale to draw it back up. There's a lot of abdominals here. And lower. Inhale to stay. Exhale to lift. Big breath. And then exhale to lower. Inhale to stay. Exhale to lift. Let's do 1 more each side. Scissoring down. Drawing back up. I've added extra breath here, but you could take one breath out if you wanted to. So you could inhale down and exhale to draw up. Inhale down and exhale to draw up. So it just depends on how connected you are or how much more breath you want. Nothing is wrong there. So I want you in this position. You're going to turn the palms up and you're just going to lower down sort of on a V. All right? So the chest is open, collarbones open. Take a big breath and you're going to lift it back up to the top. And again, you're going to lower it down and lifting it up. I'm going to inhale down and I'm going to exhale to connect and lift. 2 more times. I'm going to inhale down and exhale it back up. Last one. Inhaling down, exhaling to lift. Take a big breath and I'm just going to slowly lower the arms back down. There's quite a lot you could do here, and if you don't have weights for this next one, you might want to add them because it feels quite lovely to have a bit of weight at the end. So even if it's water bottles or something, you're going to press up to the sky, settle the shoulders down, root in through the feet, strong legs, and you're going to drive the elbows down to the side. So you're kind of like in that W or a bit of a scarecrow arm, but it's not back here. It's here, okay? So I like to think of opening the chest, drawing into your mid-back, and then you're going to hug a tree. Your weights or balls come together. The arms are opened out into a big circle. And then you're going to, again, open it and hug a tree. 2 more times. Opening it up and hug it out. time, you're going to inhale to open, and then you're going to exhale, you're going to cross them over, and then you're going to just let it settle and let the weights sort of pull you down and open that back. Still checking with neutral spine, strong legs, and just breathe here for a couple breaths, in and out. Ribs funneling to hips. One more big inhale. You're going to exhale to open up, drop right down into that W, big inhale breath. And then you're going to exhale and you're going to cross them over in the opposite direction. So opposite arm is on top, and then let it just hang. Breathe into it. Keep breathing. One more time. Big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to open it up, drop it into that W one more time, and then just push it to the ceiling, and then slowly lower it down. Okay, before we get off our back, we're going to do one more here. So we're going to go into a hip roll. We're going to end up into a bridge. Okay, so we're not going to feel like we're very high up because we're going off of the roller. But what I want you to tap into is that pelvic wheel rolling, and then each vertebra. See if you can create some space in between them. So it's that idea of, it's like, can we create space and breath between? Can we let those discs breathe? So rolling up and down off of the roller is kind of nice because you can kind of feel your spine mushing into it. So you could keep your feet hip width here. At any point, you could draw them together. That's going to make the difficulty go up a little bit because now your center is it's smaller, right? So just decide what feels good for you. But for the hip roll, take them so that they're hip width apart. Root down into the tripod of the foot. Think about a spiral line from the ankles to the knees to the hips. We're going to roll the pelvic wheel, and then you're going to keep rolling. So like we did the other day, you don't want to pop right up and out like that. Then you're in extension. You want to settle that upper thoracic down, but you're lifting up through mid. Take a breath here. And then you're going to exhale. Think of from the sternum. Allow that to all let go and melt and mush into the roller as you roll sequentially down. And then you release the tail and sit bones into the neutral spine again. All right, so now here we go again. Rolling the tail, mushing through lumbar, low thoracic, mid thoracic. Settle there, feel energy right out those knees. Take a breath. You could lift the arms up if you want to challenge your stability and bring them back. Take a breath, and then again, melt your spine. Take time, take extra breath if you need to, and send it to those sticky spots. So let's do one more here. You're going to roll it, wheeling all the way up, articulating through the spine. Take a breath at the top. Rib to hips are still connected. I'm going to mush down, all the way down, articulating through and releasing it to neutral. Oh, it feels so good. So what's going to feel amazing right now is I want you to carefully, you're going to come off to one side and you're going to roll the roller out from underneath you. And you're going to lie yourself down. And I want you to just breathe here for a minute. You should feel a lovely space underneath your spine. You should connect to your bones, your actual skeleton here. You can actually feel them. Hopefully the meat and the muscle have let go and released so that you can just settle into that feeling. Breathe. Just a nice relaxed breath, nothing forced. Just release and let go. One more big breath in. And exhale. If your eyes are closed, you could flutter them open. I'm just going to move my roller a bit. I'm up on top of my Cadillac right now, so I'm not on the floor, so I don't want to roll off. But you're going to bring one leg into you. You can stay there longer because it really does feel lovely to feel that space you've created. Or you can roll yourself up, or you can roll off to the side, okay? Whatever feels good for you. And we're going to come off the back for a bit. We will go back onto the back towards the end. And we're going to do a little bit of work in our prone position, so our face down position. So I just want to start with using the roller. Again, it's moving, right? So unless you're on the half moon one, that's only half of it. It's a little more stable. But we're just going to use this for a second. I just want you to kind of push forward and press back. I have the tops of my feet pressed down to try and open and push my shins down. My knees are underneath, well, when I come into my 4-point position, underneath my hips. They're hip distance apart, and so are my feet. All right, they're all in an alignment. And I'm just pressing back and forth. And then I'm going to settle in center. So this would be the same if you're not on a roller, you're here, right? And you need to think about that low back idea. So there's the rib to hip connection to find your neutral spine. I'm just using this because it's kind of nice to push out and be a little elevated, because I'm going to push out of the right hand and I'm just going to open. We're not here long. I just want to get a bit of an opening, and then we're going to release. Switch. Again, you have to stabilize because this rolls, and you're just going to open up the other side. Big breath. And then release it down. Find that transition to the other side and open it. And lower. Release. And open. And lower it. One more each side. Just flow open. Open. And back down again. Okay. You're going to back yourself up towards the end of your mat. Your knees are going to go wide and your toes together. We're going to roll out. So I want you to sort of karate chop onto your foam roller. And you're just going to lengthen through the spine and roll. So there's a lot of length from the tail out the crown of the head, right out those fingertips. And there's some lovely opening happening here. Through the arms, through the armpit, through that side body, through your lats and your serratus anterior, all of it. It feels so yummy. And then you're going to articulate through the pelvic wheel, start to curl the spine into flexion as you roll into shell stretch. And then you're going to take a big inhale, and then you're going to exhale, start to lengthen that flexion back out to neutral. So you're in a long line. One more time, big inhale, and then exhale, scoop the belly, curling through basically your cat into that shell. And then one more time, lengthening it all the way back out. Big breath here. And then you're going to now roll, draw the shoulders down. You're going to pretend that you're rolling a marble with the nose. You're going to look forward just about to your roller. And then you're going to mush the spine. So you're going to open the ribs, open across your clavicle and your sternum. Shoulders are drawn down. I'm going to push into my roller, and I'm just going to open into a little bit of extension. It doesn't have to be very much. You may be right here. Just a little bit of opening. And then I'm going to lengthen it back down. I'm going to draw my shoulders down. I'm going to wheel and roll the marble. Eyes follow. I don't want to go any further than this because I don't want to crank my neck like this. So I want to be here. And now thoracic is going to open into extension as I mush the chest forward. Big breath. And then I'm going to lengthen it back down. I'm going to take a deep breath in, and now I'm going to scoop my tail under me, and I'm going to roll through flexion, and I'm going to restack it to neutral. Ah, yummy. Feels so good. So now we're going to take this behind you, and we're going to take it underneath your scapula, so underneath your shoulder blades. And we're going to go quite high to start. So think about, you might judge it by where your head is at, where your neck is at, and how you feel. So you're going to interlace your fingers and create a little hammock for the base of your skull. And I'm going to start quite high on my shoulder blades, quite supported. I'm going to plant my feet, squeeze my legs together. I'm in neutral to start, and I'm just going to allow myself to open up over top of it. So I'm supported into a little mini extension here, and I'm just going to breathe. Big inhale and exhale, and I'm going to kind of go, okay, am I liking this, am I not? Just big breath in and out. One more big inhale breath, and as you exhale, you're going to curl your tail, rib to hip connection, scooping the belly out, and I'm coming forward. I'm not pulling my head down. I'm pushing my head back into that little hammock of my hands. My elbows could come forward here a little bit, but not if it's making you draw yourself like this. Otherwise, I'd keep it out a little bit wider. And you're scooping your belly basically right from your knees, okay? So remember, it's deep work. So I understand there's a muffin top, there's whatever happening. It doesn't matter, we're deep, we're working inside all of this. So take a breath here, wherever you're at, you're gonna inhale back, opening it up. And you're gonna exhale to curl the spine into flexion. You're finding a C curve. And then you're gonna again, open back. This is a little ab exercise, curl and scoop. One more time. Inhaling, opening. I'm opening my elbows up, kind of get pressure points from that foam roller. And then you're going to exhale to curl the tail and scoop. So in this position, I'm just going to back myself up so that I'm a little higher. So I'm more mid-thoracic now. And so think kind of along like a bra strap idea. Still interlacing. If this becomes too much, go back to what we just did, where it's a little higher so you're more supported. You're going to inhale, and you're going to still search for that same extension. All right, watch the rib to hip connection. You don't want to go too far that you're popping, and you're supported. And then you're going to exhale, and you're going to curl. I'm mushing my spine out of the foam roller as I curl myself up. And then I'm going to inhale. So you're getting all sorts of myofascial release while we're doing this work, because that's what the foam roller is intended for. It's such a great tool to play with. And then to curl. We're going to add on here. So you're going to inhale back. You're going to exhale to curl, reach your arms and draw one leg in. What? You're going to roll it back. And you're going to switch sides. You're going to curl, reach, and pull that leg in. Keep going. You're going to roll it back. Exhale to scoop, curl, and reach through those fingertips. Again, roll it back. And carve and scoop, gathering the belly towards the spine. One more each side. And carve and scoop. You got it. Take it back one more time. Unraveling it back. Take a deep breath in. You're going to take the soles of the feet together. Recline the legs back out. So we've been here before. You're going to inhale, and you're going to exhale to curl up and reach. That's it. If it's too much to leave the hands from behind the head, keep one there, okay? Unraveling it back, and then exhale to curl and reach. That's it. Push the soles of your feet together too. Feel that integration. Inhale and exhale. We're just going to do 2 more. Open and carve the belly out. Last one. And carve it out. Take a big breath. I'm going to take my hands back behind my head. I'm going to wrap my legs back together. And then I'm going to just let it go. I'm going to breathe here. I'm just going to lift my bum up. I'm going to take my feet about hip distance. And I'm supporting my head and I'm just rolling through my spine, through my back. It feels so good, you guys. And then you're just going to slowly curl it up. You're going to grab a leg again and come on up. Hopefully that felt super yummy. Okay, we're going to do one more little series before we finish with this for now. It's going to come underneath your legs, all right? And you're going to come onto your back. Your feet are about hip distance to start here. And you're going to curl your tail and you're going to find that hip roll. You're going to lift yourself up and then you're going to roll the foam roller underneath your sacrum. So we've got this nice little triangle or diamond shaped flat bone you can feel. Sort of we all think of tailbone when we think of that space. And I want you to just find it here. So this might feel super intense just being supported up here, or it might feel absolutely incredible, which is what I think. So it's opening up your hip flexors and your pelvis by giving you that sort of pressure point underneath your sacrum that is just so yummy. So in this position though, I want you to hang onto your roller, or if you have a bolster under you or rolled up blankets or towels, it probably won't roll away on you. But if you're on top of something that's unstable, just hang on to it. In this position, I want you to exhale ribs to hips, and I want you to find a little curl as you bring up one leg and then the other. So once you're up here, you may feel like you need to adjust it underneath you a little bit more, and feel free to do so. You could also do this on a bender ball or like one of those squishy Zenga balls or anything like that. We're probably going to do that in a couple of days anyways, but this is a great thing to do on that as well. So hands to stabilize your roller. Take a breath. You're keeping the rib to hip connection and you're staying in that little imprint spine, okay? So this time we're not in neutral. Both legs are up, so we're in imprint in through that pelvic wheel. It's rolled under you. You're going to take a breath and you're going to lengthen the legs all the way up. That's it. So from here, we're going to go into a scissor legs. So even though our legs are going in opposite directions, you're still thinking about zippering your inner thighs towards each other. So we're going to add breath here. So we're going to exhale, inhale to draw it together. Exhale and inhale together. I want you to think about this connection. I want you to think about the inner thighs zippering towards each other. You're going to So I've added a little extra breath here. You could flow it, but I don't want you to miss anything. So take your time with it. You're trying to think, can I equally open my legs in opposite directions? Can I open this hamstring and calf into my glute or can I work it while I open my hip flexor and quad on the opposite leg? And I'm zippering my legs towards each other. And one more each side. You're going to hold it at the top. Reconnect. Ribs to hips. Are you curled into that imprint spine? Take a big breath. You're going to go heels together, toes apart. You're going to bend your heels into you and just take it on a slight angle here. And you're going to go into bend and stretch. So this is your bend and you're going to push through like frog legs. And you're going to inhale and out. So this one you could change your breath on. You could inhale out and exhale back. If it feels better, you could exhale out and inhale back. So what keeps you more connected into your abdominals and into that, because this has to stabilize. So whatever breath allows you to stay safe and connected, that's the breath you want. So you're gonna pull them in and push out through those heels. Pulling them in and out through the heels. One more time. And you're gonna leave them out there. So I'm not going down here because I might lose all of this, right? So you're only going to where you can maintain. And if you need to adjust slightly, do so. My legs are out and I'm going to exhale to lift and I'm going to inhale to lower. Again, I'm not going too low because I don't want to lose my connection. And it's a lower and a lift. One more, lower and lift. Take a breath at the top. You're gonna bend the legs and we're gonna go into just a little can-can. You're gonna squeeze the legs together. You're gonna roll onto one hip. So the opposite hip does come up a little bit, but both of your shoulders are down into the ground or into the mat. You're gonna lengthen the legs out. You're gonna bend them back in. You're gonna roll back through center, control to the other side. You're hanging on with those obliques, and you're gonna lengthen and pull and roll it back and over to the other side. And it's a lengthen. Draw it in, roll, and lengthen. Bend, roll, one more each side. Lengthen, bend, and roll. Last one. And roll, holding it here at center. Take a breath and just hug those legs in. There is many more we could do, and there's many more reps that you could do as well. So you could spend more time doing that. I'm just trying to give you some ideas to keep you moving. So in this position, I'm going to get you to take a breath. You're going to bring those knees in. You're just gonna lift your bum slightly and you're gonna roll the roller out. That's it. All right, and then I want you to just, how does that feel? You could lengthen your legs back out if you wanted. How does that feel underneath your sacrum? How does the pelvic bowl feel? How do the hip flexors feel? Hopefully, again, it felt like a release. Hopefully it felt like you were supported and you were able to let go in that position. You're going to bring one leg in again, or you can roll over to the side and you're going to roll yourself up. We're going to turn to the side and we're going to finish in a mermaid. So we did mermaid the other day and I love mermaid. We love mermaid. So it's just a nice way to open up the lateral side of your body. It's kind of nice to use the roller to get there. So you're going to either have a bent foot or pointed, depending on how it feels for you and to protect the knee. Other leg is in front. If this is all too much, you could have one leg or out, whatever works, okay? So just do a little rock back and forth through that hip, grounding through the sit bones, and then ground and just stay there. And you're gonna just kind of karate chop the foam roller. You're gonna take a big breath up. And you're going to start to open and carve the underside. And you're going to roll out. That's it. So again, it takes a lot to kind of stay here. Take a breath and you're going to reach. Then you're going to pull and roll yourself back up. Let's do 3 more. It's up. Up. Let's do one more up. Just really flow and breathe. So yummy. Sorry, that's my word of the day, yummy. You're gonna stay here, and this time you're gonna take a breath up. You're gonna roll it out. That's it. And you're gonna scoop, carve the belly back to you. All right, so you gotta open up those arms. So this is gonna feel crunchy. This is like wringing out that wet towel, okay? So you're here. Now I want you to pull that back to you as you mush your chest open and you find that little bit of extension. So here we are in a twisted extension, and it's so good if you can find it. You can put a little pressure on the foot onto that thigh, opening this, trying to square those hips. Big breath. Scoop the belly back to you as you carve down. Let's do that one more time. Or if you have time, do it many more times. It's so good. And you're gonna roll the marble with the nose. Wheel the shoulders down. Mush the chest open. That's it. Pull belly to spine to support it. Maybe you're not coming up this high. Go to wherever it feels good in your body, right? Everybody's different. And then I'm gonna scoop my belly back as I carve down. I'm gonna hold it there because this roller moves. I'm gonna move my arm over. I'm gonna open back into that side bend. Big breath. And I'm gonna carve it back up. I'm gonna hang on to this outside leg. I'm gonna bring my arm up. And I'm gonna do a little counter stretch. And then I'm gonna exhale, scoop and twist. And I'm gonna open it back up. And I'm gonna release it. Beautiful, guys. We're gonna flip it over to the other side. All right. Okay, so you're onto this side. You're gonna do a little rock back and forth. That's it. I can hear my kids on the porch and the dog, so hopefully it doesn't get too loud. That's it, rooting down through the sit bones, karate chopping, big breath up, carving, opening the underside, rolling yourself up. Big breath, inhale it up, exhale to ground and restack the bones. Rib to hip connection. Inhaling up, let's do 3 more, carving it out. Big breath, reaching, restacking. Gorgeous. Ground and root down. Big breath up, carving it over. Lovely. Reach and pulling back up. One more time, up. Lovely. So we're going to add our little twist. So you're going to take a breath. You're going to carve and all the way over. Right here, I'm going to scoop low belly back to me as I twist. I'm going to move my arm over slightly. Hopefully you can see it on this angle. It's a bit weird with the camera. Take a breath here. You're going to roll the marble with the nose. I start to look forward. I start to wheel my shoulders down, wheel my chest open, pulling belly to spine to protect it, and wheel it up. Big breath, and then I'm going to exhale, scoop into that flexion and roll it back out. And again, long line, rolling, looking with the eyes, wheeling the shoulders down, opening the chest, big breath, and then carve the belly back to you as you roll it back down. Let's do one more here. You're drawing the shoulders down, you're rolling the marble with the nose, eyes look forward, and then wheel the shoulders and start to open across the chest, pulling belly back to the spine for support, big breath, and then you're gonna lengthen it back down. That's it. This time you're gonna move the arm over, you're gonna find your side bend. You're going to reach, you're going to ground and pull it back up. You're going to hold on to the outside of the opposite leg, coming up. And you're going to carve into that counter stretch. That's it. And then you're going to scoop the belly back to the spine as you find a nice, yummy stretch. And then you're going to release it. And you're going to let it go. Just release the legs. You could sit crisscross, whatever feels good here. And you're just going to take one arm up, over, find that scooped belly. You're gonna port a bra around one more time, up and over and around, restack. Other side comes up, scoop and roll. And again, up, scoop and roll. Great big breath to the top. And you're gonna exhale. Nice work, everybody. That is your taste of foam roller release work. And oh, that's lovely. That's a sign of a good class when your hair is like everywhere. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. That was day, what was that? I don't even know anymore. I think that was day 4. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it, and have a great day. Okay, see you guys.